All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. We got the install complete. Bike looks really good. Very happy. I have gone for about 10 miles of a ride. Oh, I have to say it makes a big difference in the ride. Huge difference. When I first got this bike almost 2 years ago, there were a lot of people complaining about it not having a suspension fork then, and I made a dumb statement that it didn't need one. And of course, now that it has a suspension fork on here, oh my god, y'all, the ride is so smooth. It just smoothed out everything. No more vibration, no nothing. Looks really good. Gave the bike some color. That black chrome slider, the chrome tube, and then the flat black upper arms. Just good looking. So, and it performs very well, as y'all will see. So, all right, let's go look at some stuff you're going to need for your install. All right, first thing, you're going to need a Crown Raceway. Okay, you don't have to buy that. You can just knock it off your old fork. This is from a kit I got, but I didn't use it. All right, you're going to need a longer axle arm skewer. This is just an example. Okay, this is not a cam lock one. This is a twist lock. A little more heavier dutier. But you're going to need one that's about 195 millimeters to 200 millimeters. You're going to need a star nut. Okay, and then you're going to need a longer bolt to go through your fender, the top part of your fender mount. Okay, here, this bolt doesn't go all the way through. You can reuse the washer and the nuts, okay, but you're going to need a longer bolt. Okay, so let's get out and go for a ride. All right. One thing I'm telling you, I'm not used to is hitting these brakes and this front end depressing on me. So, oh man, it made a big difference in the ride, y'all. You know, golly. So this is an RST guide fork. It's got 60 millimeters of travel. Let me say this, I looked at some of the, we'll call them budget air forks. Don't buy a budget air fork. Don't go that route. Okay, this was an extremely easy install. You know, tear apart install. All you got to do is watch Citizen Cycles fork installs, some of his videos. It's a piece of cake. Now, I do want to say a shout out to him because I might not have bought this fork if he hadn't have bought like one of those budget air shocks and done a review on it and didn't like it. And then I did read some other reviews on those budget air shocks. And the thing about putting them on e-bikes is they keep breaking. So this isn't breaking. This is the fork Citizen uses for his dual motor upgrade kits. So I just can't tell you the difference it made. This is like a completely different bike. I know you hear people say that with upgrades, but this really is. I mean, it made a huge difference. We'd go do some off-roading, but boy, we've had some hellacious rains here in the past couple days, so I'm not going to be able to hit any off-roading. But the main thing to complain about the budget air forks is that the breakout, the dropouts would break on them. The dropout's not breaking on this. So was a little frustrating that the axle skewer wasn't long enough, but I found a real heavy duty one. I do still have that one coming from China that's got a cam lock, which I'll just let it keep coming. Let me tell you, the weather here is just beautiful. Almost no wind today after just severe storms, tornadoes and stuff that people have been having, including this area. So but it is just gorgeous right now. The fog lifted this morning and the sun come out. It's going to be mid-80s. I mean, just look at how cool that is. When you hit the brakes. That's not something I'm used to, is this bike. There have been some complaints about this fork, mainly it only having 60 millimeters of travel. I can tell y'all that's plenty of travel. I went to the school a couple nights ago when I got the install complete. And I went off a curb that was about 1.5 feet tall, and no, it did not bottom out. It didn't even come close. Okay, you think it's gonna, but it doesn't. It gets to a point where it gets, you know, it's got some softness, but then it's got some stiffness. So it gives you what you want, that shock absorption, but it's not bottoming out on you. It's plenty of travel. Let me see what else about this should y'all know if you're going to attempt it. This is a way better fork than even the new Expand 5 Plus has on it. Way better. The Expand 5 Plus does not have an RST guide for it. It's a different brand. So oh, the brakes, you're going to need some washers to kick the brake up, or you can get a brake bracket. I just use washers. So, other than that, the brake cable's long enough. I don't fold the bike. I haven't even checked to see if I could still fold my handlebars, but it looks like maybe not. It looks like it did take some of the slack out of the brake cable, that you can't do that. But like y'all know, I don't fold this bike. I even cut the folding bar off the bottom so I'd have more ground clearance on it. The other thing, I'm not sure it really raised the bike up. I've heard some people say, it made my bike taller. The tires lifted the bike off the ground so much when I put the Huntsman tires on here. I'm not, if it raised the bike up, I'm not, maybe a little bit, nothing significant that you know. And to give you an example, when I stop, normally I can tippy toe, and I can still tippy toe. So I don't think it really raised it up at all. We're gonna go over, I'm gonna hit a little spot where I can kind of do a little off-roading. It's like some hard grass area. Just I just can't tell. It just absorbs everything, y'all. No more vibration coming up. You know, you hit the. I even locked it out, and man, it does lock out. It will completely lock out, and it's just a rigid fork. I rode it for about a half a mile and stopped and unlocked it. I was like, ugh. That reminds me of the stock shop. This looks so much better, so nice. Oh, the grass is all wet. Oh well, let's go. Just smooth. We actually hit a little bit of water. They said we have had a ton of rain here, y'all. Just smoothed out this ride so much. Okay, so let's talk about the budget. The shock was about $155 with tax. The star nut kit came with 3 star nuts, and the tool was about $16 with tax. And then that longer axle skewer, or quick release axle skewer, was about $20. So came in under $200, which is what I was trying to do. Like I said, I'm very happy with I'm glad I picked this fork instead of being a dummy and going with a budget air fork. Thank God for people who do reviews on this stuff, so they can tell you, like I'm telling you now, don't buy the budget air fork. Okay. Yep, I can still do little wheelies. It's not, I only put about 3 pounds more on the front end. Alright, to be honest with you, I'm not sure that I even noticed it. But it does add about 3 pounds on the stock fork's about 4 pounds. This is about a little over 7 pounds. But O doesn't make a big difference on your ride quality. Hey, look at that. Yeah. How it just... There were times that I thought about getting rid of this bike because of the front end. Nah. Once I bought that bigger battery, the Unipack power battery, I wasn't going to get rid of it anymore. I saw where the new Expand 5 has a 1 amp hour, it's got a 15 amp hour battery instead of a 14, and it's got like a thermal coating which means it's basically potted. They just put a resin in there that helps cooling. It also waterproofs it. I mean, really waterproofs it. If you look at the new Expand 5, it looks like to me the controller box is completely different than the Expand 5 Plus. The controller box is completely different than the regular Expand 5. It also has torque sensing pedals, which is kind of cool. They're actually telling you what battery cells now. It says you're either going to get Panasonic or LG cells. Both good cells, or not Panasonic, Samsung or LG. Both good cells, but the Samsung cells are better. Well, let's talk about the Cowboys draft just real quick. You know, I've said this many times, you just can't judge draft picks until they get on the field and start playing, and you find out whether you got something or you don't. Did they look like they addressed some needs they needed? Yes. Is everybody upset that they didn't get a running back and saying they're giving them a bad grade because of that? Yes, I think that's ridiculous. You know, maybe there was a running back they wanted higher up, and somebody took them and they didn't get them. All right. So, do I think though re-signing Zeke like they have today? I don't know. Who knows? Man, if Zeke could just get a little bit of his rookie season back, man, he was so dominant that year. Such a dominant runner. You know, there might be it's just April, everybody. Settle down. You know, I've already said I think the Cowboys aren't going to have near as good a season coming up as they've had in the past, but they did address some needs. You know, I don't think their draft was a fail. I'd give them a B, straight up B. We'll leave it at that. Have not gotten my Monday update from the e-bike I have coming for our first look and review. But it's good to have the bike back up and running. It was really only down for about, I think it was 5 days, maybe 6. I think it's actually 5 days it was down. It's gonna make my exercise rides, workout rides, much more enjoyable. So. So much nicer, y'all. Should have done that a long time before now. Probably should have been my first upgrade. Instead I went for the 35 amp controller kit. But I should have done the fork first. Just looks so much better. Puts that color in the front end. Well, let me tell you this, if you've got an Expand 5 and you've been thinking about getting rid of it and getting the Expand 5 Plus, I wouldn't do that. I'd just upgrade the fork myself, unless you want the torque sensor. I will say that that's a, you know, one of these days I do want to try out a torque sensing pedal assist bike. They say they're just more, kind of more normal than. All right, so let's. All right, so we got her even dirty. We got her broke in. So, big difference, y'all. Leave me a like, hit that subscribe button, leave me some comments. So, everybody take care, have a good one.